Hi everyone, it's Fitz with the Walk and Talk. I'm not in Oxford, Mississippi, much to my pleasure. It's a nice day in Manhattan. I watched the game from home, kind of like the ESPN announcers did. That's a whole nother topic. But I came up to Bramlage to do a walk and talk, even though I'm not at the game. The women have a game tonight at Bramlage Coliseum. You might want to start investing your time and money and energy into women's basketball because the men's program is completely dead in the water. Kansas State loses at Ole Miss, and in the most important game of the season, I think Bruce Weber said, by 9. I wrote it down. I tried to memorize it. Honestly, I don't want to remember much about the game. Let's cover the positives. Mark Smith, you're a man. I think it was 20 and 16. Great performance by Mark. Nigel Pack was good. 5 turnovers, that's great. Everything else was crappy. Crappy. A horrible, miserable, just pathetic performance from the very start in a game that Bruce Weber himself said was so important that he talked to his team after the Kansas game a week ago about it instead of talking to them about the Tuesday game at Baylor. He just wrote that one off. He wrote that 25-point loss off as the cost of doing business, essentially. But Mississippi, that was the start of the new season and the start of a run to the NCAA tournament. They didn't look interested at all. And Mark Smith, to his credit, came out and defended his head coach after the game. But Bruce Weber, on postgame radio, once again played his us against the fans card. That's a dangerous game, man. Talking about the detractors. That they're in just a little bad spell. Coach, you lost the first 4 in the conference. Yeah, you're shorthanded. Yeah, Ole Miss was shorthanded today. Did you know that? Did you care? Does it matter? Does only your problems matter? You won 2 great wins. You blow a huge lead against Kansas because the head coach can't find a way to get his team 1 bucket down the stretch to get them over the hump and win the game. The other coach did. And then you just cashed in 2 more games in a row where you didn't even look like you wanted to be on the court. And then you say after the game, we're just in a little bad stretch. People aren't upset that you've lost the 2 games. Actually, people really aren't even upset that you are now, 2-5 in the Big 12 and stumbling to 10-10 overall. People are upset because this is the worst 3-year stretch in Kansas State basketball history. Not even close to any argument there. It's the worst 3-year stretch in Kansas State basketball history. It gets to a point where K-State fans begin to wonder if basketball is even important to this school. Well, as the crowd files in here for a women's basketball game, and they're expecting a great crowd, and they deserve it because they're going to be in the NCAA tournament this year. And granted, tickets are cheap. I challenge the athletic department to do this. You opened up the Coliseum to $1 tickets for the rest of the season. Do it for the men. Do it. $1 tickets for every home game. See what shows up. Maybe you'll have good crowds. But I don't think that many people will show up. Maybe some families will take advantage of it. Maybe some people just in need of entertainment will take advantage of it. But they'll probably leave with a little bit of a shell shock about the product that's on the floor. I vowed at the start of the season to let this season play out, to let us see what this is about. He brought in some good transfers. They're helpful. They're good. Mark Smith was brilliant. But when you circle the Ole Miss game and you put a huge emphasis as the head coach on winning this game, and then you lay a turd in Oxford, Mississippi, it's not a little stretch. It's not a bad stretch. It is 3 years almost of dreadful basketball that has been a little bit better this year, but it's not good enough. We've become disassociated from our proud tradition of basketball at Kansas State. Not enough people apparently care, and enough people apparently think when you're upset with the situation in the program, you're just being negative. You don't support the program. At this point, there's really only one way to support Kansas State basketball. And I'm going to let you guess what it is.